Hello, Dana Guitar Class. Is it even Dana Guitar Class anymore? I feel a bit like you guys have ghosted me. Haven't seen hide nor hair or heard hide nor hair of you since I started doing these. Anyway, I have 3 more Contagious licks. I think they're all fantastic. One of the themes, the major theme of my Contagious licks, is that they're all related in some way. These are related through their tuning and that they all rock pretty hard. So the tuning is drop D. I was a little bit reluctant to use that tuning because I don't like for you to mess up your guitars or get your guitars in a condition where you can't play all your other material. So I'll show you how to drop down, and then when we're done, I'll show you how to tune it back up to standard tuning again so you can move between the two much more easily. My dog is complaining a little bit. Okay, so to get down to drop D tuning, I'm gonna just play I'm in standard tuning now, E, A, D, G, B, E, and I'm gonna play the low E and the 4th string at the same time, and I'm gonna detune that low E. You can hear that beating. Sounds like it's shaking or something. Then they settle down a little bit. They're pretty close. So because this guitar has a tremolo system on it and there's a bit of a balancing act going on between the tension of the strings and the tension of the strings and the spring that's connected to where this lever is, I'm gonna check it on my tuner and make sure that the balance on the guitar didn't change significantly. Okay, it all looks pretty good. All right, so the 3 licks I played. The first one was a song called Outshined by Soundgarden. The second one was a song called Moby Dick by Led Zeppelin. And the third one is a song by Jimmy Eat World called The Middle. They're all great for different reasons. The unique thing about the Soundgarden song is it's in an unusual time signature. It's in 7/4. So if I play that riff and you count, it ends up being 7 quarter notes long when it turns around. And sometimes when you learn these kinds of songs and you don't really intellectually invest yourself in a complicated time signature, you just get into the feeling of it, it makes it easier for you to understand unusual music phrases. And some of these things can be super helpful in just developing your ability to follow along and think on your feet and get your body involved in the relationship of playing the instrument. Our bodies are fantastic. Well, it's all happening in the brain, but our brains are great at mechanical coordination. Not always super great at the analytical coordination, but mechanical coordination, I mean, climbing stairs is pretty complicated if you think about what you're doing for a bipedal creature. So trust me on this. All right, I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, then I'll switch up the camera and we'll get into the close-up explanation. The Soundgarden riff, fairly easy riff. It's just that open set of strings. You could actually go as deep as the D string, so you could go through the 3 strings that are closest to your chin, let's say. But anyway, it's 0, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0, 3, 3 on the A string, 6, 5, 3. And then it starts all over again. The next lick is a little more complicated, and I'll save all of the details for the close-up, but I will play the one cycle of the riff. That is Moby Dick. And this is basically a 12-bar blues in D, or the riff is a 12-bar blues, and it follows that kind of form. So the song that we did in class, Blues in G, kind of follows the same form, but we're in the key of D. So it's gonna go open D twice, or sorry, open D, and then the D on the A string, 5th fret, down to C, the 5th fret of the low D string, so this is now a G, to F, G, F, back to G again. So you have D, 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 C, G, F, G, F, G. Remembering, of course, that the low E is down to D, and that's going to change where the F and the G appear on the guitar. Then the third song was The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, and I kind of did my own little trick on this one. If you listen to the record, there's actually two guitars happening. One of them's just playing power chords. And then there's another line that's going. But I put them together because why not? You're only one person. We're on quarantine. The whole band can't get together. You got to play both parts. So the way I was doing it is I play the low D string, and then I play the seventh fret of the ninth fret of the A string, and I go down to the fifth. So I go 9 9 5 5 5 5 5 5 9 9 9 9, and then I'm going to change up a little bit. I'm going to play a bar type shape on the low D and the A string at the seventh fret. And this is the trick, right? So I'm playing this little bar here at the seventh fret, and then I go up here to the 11th fret of the D string, so I'm getting a C sharp and an A. Then I slide it down, and I'm playing this, what's kind of like a G power chord. I'm at the 5th fret of the low D and the A string. And then I change up to the 5th fret of the low D and the 4th fret of the A string. And then I go back to a D power chord, which is low D open, 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the D string. Okay, I'll switch it up and get into the details. Okay, I want to emphasize that there will be tabs for all of these bits in link to tabs down in the description below, and links to the songs like I usually do. So we're going to get on to the Soundgarden song first. I explained that somewhat in the intro, but I'll go over it again with a little bit more of a close-up feel. So I'm playing the... Right, so I'm open, then the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, the 3rd fret, back to the open, then, right? So that's 0 0 3 5 3 0 3 3 on the A string, 6 5 3. So 0 0 3 5 3 0 3 3 on the A string, 6 5 3. And it just does that a ton through the whole song. Pretty good opportunity to practice playing in 7/4. All right, so the Led Zeppelin riff, Moby Dick. All right, so that one. Right, so that's all happening around the 5th and 3rd fret of the A string and the low drop D. So you have drop D, D on the A string. So that's 5 5 3 5 on the low D string, 3 5 on the low D string, back up to the 5. So does it a total of 4 times. Okay, so this next, the change. You're going to take your index finger and slide up to the 5th fret of the low D string. You just played that note. And then you're going to take your ring finger and launch yourself up here to the 10th fret of the A string. And you're going to play the same riff. Uh-oh, that focus is hunting. Come on, baby. And that's a tricky move, and there's no open string available to give you that G. So you get the repeat, then back to the drop D twice, and then you take from that F to the open A, and then you play this kind of blues lick that wraps it up. And then there's a tag, but I want to go over that lick one more time. So it's open A, and then the 7th fret of the D string, down to the 5, 7th of the A, 7 of the D, 5 of the A, 7 of the A, 5 of the D, 7 of the D. So you have open, 7, 7, 5, 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7, and then the tag, and that's G, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 5, and then you finally get up to the G string on the 3rd string at the 7th fret. So that little tag is 7, 5, 7 on the D string, and then 5 down to 3 on the D string. So that A riff again is 0, and it gets around into, I can't remember if it does those licks twice and then it does a solo, but it's a pretty neat riff. Take it slow. I think it feels good to play it by yourself, but you know, you can hook up with that Led Zeppelin recording of Moby Dick and get your groove on. All right, finally, the Jimmy Eat World song. That low D is going to be in there pretty much in all of this in some capacity. So my single note movement is from 9 to 5. So I go 9, 9, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. And then I'm going to go 7 on the A string, and I'm going to go 11 on the D string. Okay? And then 5 on the 5 on the A, 4, back to the 5 again. So I'll try to play this so that you can see the right hand picking part. So I go from the 9th fret to the 5, back to the 9, and now I'm going to bar 7 and 7 on the A and the A and the drop D, and then. So what I'm doing is I'm playing that C sharp on the D string and an open A. Then I'm going to slide this whole thing down so my pinky finger and my ring finger are on the 5th fret of the drop D and the A. And now it's on the 5th fret of the drop D and the 4th fret of the A. And then back to the D power chord. The whole show. Oh, hunting focus. There we go. So, 9, 5, back to the 9, and then a bar at 7, and then that 11 open A, and then 5 and 5, 4, 5 and 4, and back to 5 and a D power chord at the 5th and 7th fret of the A and D string, along with the drop D. And that's the riff for it. When the verse starts, it's just a D, and then this barred 7th for the A, then a barred 5th for the G, and back to that. I love this song. It's real super upbeat. All right, I hope that explanation was clear enough. I think what you saw me do, along with the tab that you can download from the link in the description, will be sufficient enough to give you something that you can experiment with on these licks. These are not meant as comprehensive, like I'm going to be able to, do everything on this song. It's just to kind of give you something to play with, like this is how we get better. It takes a long time and a lot of concentration when you're just getting started to learn a whole song and learn everything in it. So, just take the most satisfying, crunchy little bit and have a good time. All right, I'm going to show you how to get your guitar back up to standard tuning again, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So, just like we used the D string to get the low E down to D, we can use the 2nd fret of the D string to play an E, and then we're going to reach up here and tighten the string. Hear that beating? And it's going to settle down. And I'm going to check my tuning. Just a hair sharp. Just a hair. I'm very picky about my tuning. A lot of times when you detune a string, it's going to have a tendency to make the other strings that you didn't really mess around with go a little bit sharp. And conversely, when you tune a string up, it's going to make the other strings that you didn't mess around with go a little bit flat. And some strings show it more dramatically than others. And it's very much amplified. It can happen on any guitar because you're changing the balance of tension. They're all a family of stored energy. And when you start changing one of them, they all kind of find a new home. And when you have a tremolo system or vibrato tailpiece on your guitar, like a Fender Stratocaster or some kind of guitar like an Ibanez with a Floyd Rose or something, or like this is a Bigsby tremolo unit, they're all going to rebalance. Okay. Well, I certainly hope these videos are helping somebody learn how to play the guitar. And, it's fun. It's a challenge for me to think of like what can I do? And so I'm having a pretty good time. All right. Stay safe, wash your hands, be nice to people, be nice to your family that you're stuck hanging around with all the time. And thanks for playing guitar with me today.